Okay. I was in London over the sort of Christmas to New Year's week, and I participated in what may be one of the most pompous and elitist activities ever, or maybe not. We'll see what people think. I'm not going to start with that. I will remind you, I am on Instagram at david.pacman. A lot of our viewers following my travels there during the vacation week. I'll talk more about the trip itself on the bonus show today, but a couple of pictures that people really seem to like on Instagram. The first one here, this is a picture that I took, and I'll explain to you what's going on here. At the British Museum, fantastic museum. Museums in London are mostly free. Extraordinary museums there. This is me standing in front of the Rosetta Stone. And of course, the Rosetta Stone is an old stone that contains writing in three languages. I believe it's Old Greek, hieroglyphics, and one other language. I forget what it is. And this was a key artifact in starting to sort of translate and decipher some of these ancient languages. And the reason you can't see much of the Rosetta Stone in the picture, and let's keep the picture up for a bit longer, Pat. The reason you can barely see the Rosetta Stone is because this is a mass of people that is pushing and shoving in order to take a picture of the Rosetta Stone on their mobile phone through incredibly thick glass. As you can see there, we've got pretty thick glass there, very reflective because of the high key lighting. This is almost the same thing I experienced at the Louvre in Paris with the Mona Lisa. People pushing and shoving to take pictures of something that if you really want to look at the details of, you would go to Google Images. I don't get why people do this. And there were some other tourists there, sort of in the second layer. You can see I'm kind of back from the main crowd in the picture, who were we were looking at each other saying, what are you doing? What is this?
I mean, I can kind of understand it if you want to get a picture of yourself and your family and friends in front of whatever you're taking a picture of.
Right.
But if you're just going to focus on that itself, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of different pictures out there that are better than the one that you're going to take.
Yeah, if you're looking to take a look at the writing on the Rosetta Stone, you're not going to see anything in these highly reflective, low quality cell phone camera pictures. I really don't get it. Just enjoy being there. Enjoy the atmosphere, take a look at the Rosetta Stone, read the little plaques that they have describing what's going on. I will never understand this behavior, and it's just one of the many places I've been where you start to see this. Now, let's get to an activity I participated in at my girlfriend's request, I will say, called afternoon tea in London, known to some as high tea. Call it what you want. When Lewis, former producer Lewis, used to say he doesn't drink beers like Budweiser and Coors, he drinks microbrews, people said that's elitist. Lewis is being elitist. If Lewis was criticized for that, I am ready for an S-storm, Pat, as a result of me participating in afternoon tea in London. And as you can see in the picture, I've got the teapot there. You've got the little sandwiches that they bring you are gone. They were on the plate in front of me. That was the first thing I ate. I'm more of a savory guy. And then you see the various scones and endless sweets and pastries on the table. I am not that big of a sweet and pastry guy. So I could have a couple bites of these things, but I'm more into the savory. It's just a sugar overload, you know?
Yeah, I get that. That's why they're still on the table. And I think your arm outstretched on the armrest there of the chair, I think that adds to the elitism a little bit more.
My pose also. I mean, it's almost like just when you go to afternoon tea, all of a sudden, I think the chairs are designed. If you can put it up one more time. Sure. I think the chairs are designed so you can't really just sit up. It almost puts you into a very arrogant sitting position, I think.
Maybe you're just relaxed.
Maybe I was relaxed. Yeah. So I'll talk more about the trip on the bonus show today. I can tell you the main thing in England is not the food, at least not the English food. Best Indian food I've ever had in my life, I had in London. But British pub food is very similar to Irish pub food, of which there are 10,000 in Boston.
Yeah, the Brits are not known for their cuisine, I would say. I think they have fish and chips, and that's about all.
I did have fish and chips twice, and the street fish and chips I had were way better than the ones I had in an actual restaurant. Now, even though you're vegan, like if you went, if you went in Rome, you would have fish and chips in London, I'm sure.
No, you're very wrong on that.
Okay.
But I have had fish and chips in London. It was just before I was vegan.
Pre-veganism.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. We're going to dig into that a little more on the bonus show today. Okay, so remember, follow all of the hijinks that I end up bumping into on Instagram at david.pacman.